hot damn, we've got ourselves an emergency podcast. Dame Lillard to the Bucks. We got to break it down. Welcome to Beyond the Arc with Brandon Silvers. As always, I am your host, Brandon Silvers. No time to waste. It's time to get into the immediate reaction and winners and losers. Let's go. Who saw this coming? Dame was doing everything he could to get to the Heat, telling everyone he wouldn't play if he was traded anywhere else. The Heat were like, hey, here's the package. We have all the leverage. Take it or leave it. The Trailblazers were like, nah. And we've all just been basically waiting to see who blinks first for what feels like decades now. Then, in what felt like was a completely separate NBA offseason storyline, Giannis started working his way towards his own trade demand by talking about wanting to be a Buck and loving that and all that, but he's a winner first and foremost, and he wants to be somewhere that he can compete for a title. But no coincidence, as the writer's strike ends, these two storylines combine, and they bring in a third as the Phoenix Suns are able to move the talented but habitually pouting DeAndre Ayton. But first things first, who got what? The Bucks get Dame Lillard, the Blazers get Drew Holiday, DeAndre Ayton, and things nobody cares about. The Suns get Yusuf Nurkic, Nazir Little, Keon Johnson, and everyone's least favorite player, Grayson Allen. So, out of all that, who are the winners? Who are the losers? First winner, very obvious, the Milwaukee Bucks. It's early, but their championship odds have shot through the roof, and now they're the title favorite. This was a 58-win team last year, but their championship window was closed. They fired Coach Bud, and they seemed to be in this weird spot where they were still a playoff team, but they had a very defined ceiling. But now, in the words of Michael Jeffrey Jordan, fuck them kids. Wait, no, the ceiling is the roof. You're a title contender for at least a couple more years. You've satisfied your franchise player. You've managed to hold on to a lot of your major pieces. Obviously a downgrade defensively, but if Dame is anything close to what he was last year, which I remind you was a 32-7-5 player, then it's a big enough upgrade offensively to make up for that. You've got Giannis, you've got Dame. You have to imagine Charleston's own Chris Middleton will be back healthy. Brook Lopez is still there. They still have some good role players. This feels like a team built for the playoffs even more than they are for the regular season. When you can make a move like this for as little as they gave up and do it before training camp so they have as much time as possible to figure out how it all works, you've done an incredible thing. What a move. All right, losers, the Miami Heat. This is a tale as old as time at this point. Pat Riley got the big three to come to South Beach, and ever since then, they've been rumored to get every superstar that's ever come available. So far, out of all the rumors, the Durants, the Bradley Beals, the James Hardens, they've managed to land Jimmy Butler and the corpse of Kyle Lowry. It's laugh out loud funny at this point. They're clearly still a great team. They just made the finals, but that's even more reason why you don't mess around when you get a chance to get Dame. Jimmy Butler has those Coach Tibbs miles on his knees, so the window's probably not going to be open much longer. You've whiffed so many times before. I don't know how you let this happen again. Like, why would you drag your feet and act arrogant now when you have your best chance to land a bona fide superstar since the big three left? It's crazy. And again, it looks like they struck out by valuing Tyler Hero more than anyone else in the league. They apparently have on the same glasses the Warriors used to have on when they gave Jordan Poole that giant contract. Look, Hero is a good player, a great scorer, and he's improved the other parts of his game, but he is what he is. The Heat made the finals last year with him being out with a broken hand, and if you can make a finals run without a guy, how important is he really? Let's be for real. But once again, they thought they could land a superstar for Tyler Hero and a couple of those iguanas that freeze up when it gets too cold down there. And again, they got nothing. And there's only so much Heat culture and Big Face Coffee can do. And isn't it looking more and more like putting together the big three was Pat Riley's last big move ever? Has he completely lost his fastball? It certainly feels like it. Damn, we don't even have winning time anymore so we can see him in his prime. Now, I'm sure we're going to see the Heat rumored on the next disgruntled big name player like Joel Embiid or whoever. But is there a guy out there they could get with whatever it is they have to offer? Even if they decided to go all in, you'd have to guess that Jimmy Butler's untouchable and Hero isn't. But again, I don't think anybody values him quite like the Heat do. Bam Adebayo, same deal. They seem to want to hold on to him even more than Hero. But his limitations are just as obvious, if not more. And what might be the worst thing of all of this is that they had been rumored to go after Giannis at some point too, especially after he came out with his comments about wanting to play for a contender. So this trade basically blew up two huge potential moves for them. They might just have to hang tight and start over when Jimmy's done. I mean, they've basically swapped places with the Bucks in the East. All right, let's talk about another winner, and it's the Phoenix Suns. They win simply by moving DeAndre Ayton, who they picked number 1 in that sneaky stack draft of 2018. Now, I'm not going to lie, for a little bit there, it looked like he was possibly headed towards becoming a star. I mean, with his physique and his skill set, I was thinking maybe a poor man's David Robinson, but the Suns stopped prioritizing his development as they got better as a team, and understandably so, honestly. And he didn't do himself any favors with his attitude, which started off as not really his fault. I mean, Robert Sarver was being disrespectful when they were negotiating for a new contract because Sarver's a jackass, and he no longer owns the Suns because he's a jackass in all aspects of life. Then it turned into a whole thing with Coach Monty Williams because he refused to go back into a Game 7 blowout against the Mavs, which, again, I could kinda understand. I mean, this team was acting like they weren't going to pay him. He's not going to lead them back from down 40. There's only a half left until he becomes a restricted free agent, and all that can really happen is that he could get injured and not get paid. It seemed like that was that, and he would sign somewhere else, but inexplicably, the Suns matched an offer from the Indiana Pacers. It really made no sense because it seemed like everyone involved needed a fresh start. But whatever, he came back. It was never the same, though. He was quick to pout. He never got over the Monty Williams issue. Chris Paul made him sad. Then they traded for Durant, so he got even fewer touches on offense. It all came to a head in the Denver series when he was losing his minutes to Jock Landale. He just couldn't hang mentally or on the court at all. And even with Sarver, CP3, and Monty Williams gone, you just knew that Ayton had to go too. So what you have for the Suns is addition by subtraction. Did they get a fantastic return? No. Nurk is probably cooked. He certainly can't stay healthy anymore. Grayson Allen is going to be punchable and hit threes, so there's that. Keon Johnson and Nas Little are guys you look at and you think, maybe one day, but don't hold your breath. And this return to me is more indicative of how badly they wanted to move Ayton, and they did. So congratulations to the Suns. Pretty bad return talent-wise, but the vibes will be immaculate. Honestly, Ayton's the winner in this whole thing too. He gets a fresh start on a team in Portland where he's way more likely to get the chance to play how he wants to play, meaning shooting a lot more. And he'll certainly win less, but there's also going to be less pressure on him to perform, and he needs that. I feel comfortable going ahead and calling the Trailblazers a winner too. I mean, they get Ayton, who's better than Nurkic. They get Holiday, but word is they're moving him, so whatever. They moved Dame, and they moved him out of spite to a team that not only wasn't the Miami Heat, but also hurt the Heat's chances to win anything. And they have a bunch of young guys who could be something one day, and that kind of hope is priceless, isn't it? Scoot Henderson, Shaedon Sharpe, Anthony Simons, who is already actually the second coming of CJ McCollum. They have all this even though they were basically in an impossible situation where their star player demanded a trade, told you he would only go to one team, which killed any leverage they may have had, and they made it out of all that in relatively good shape, all things considered. Now, everyone can't be a winner, though. Just ask Drew Holiday. He was just talking about wanting to retire in Milwaukee, and now? Yikes. Sorry, buddy. The NBA is a business. Like I said, he's in Portland for now, but he's expected to be moved. I'm really hoping that he teams up with another loser of this deal and ends up on the Miami Heat. Let's just go ahead and close this loser loop. I mean, he's basically the Miami Heat in player form. Very good, but something's missing, so you're always wanting just a little bit more. He was an all-star last year, and while he's old, particularly for a point guard, he can still play, and he's absolutely an upgrade over Kyle Lowry, who is literally and figuratively 100% ass. And it would also be a very Miami thing to do to go after Dame and end up with Drew Holiday. So please let this happen. Woj, Shams, whoever you got to call, make it happen. Man, if you weren't hyped for the season before, how could you not be now? This is going to be something else. I love pressure. I love seeing players under pressure. And there's never been this much pressure on Giannis or Dame. How are they going to respond? We'll have to wait and see, and that's going to do it for my super fast, immediate reaction, instant analysis of this blockbuster trade. I reserve the right to change my views on this at a later date. Go check out the Gamecocks football captain's log right now, Beyond the Bark NFL picks. Be on the lookout for Brett's Bets Friday morning, and your regularly scheduled Beyond the Arc with Brandon Silvers on Monday. Also, come catch me at the Battle on the Deck 3-on-3 basketball tournament this Saturday from 10 to 5 on the USS Yorktown. Danny Foxworth is going to be out there too. Y'all see all this stuff I'm doing, so help your boy out by sharing it, giving me 5 stars, leaving a nice review, and subscribing if you aren't already. Appreciate your support, and I will catch you later.